Have you ever stopped to think that the answer to some of your most persistent health concerns might already be in your home, forgotten on a shelf? After more than 35 years in integrative medicine, I have learned something simple yet profound. Sometimes the most powerful remedies come from the humblest sources. What I am about to share with you is neither exaggeration nor theory. It is deeply rooted in generational wisdom and emerging science, and it is quietly changing lives. 1. Person at a time. 2 ingredients: castor oil and baking soda. Alone, they are common, but when used intentionally, they become a gentle force that supports the body from the inside out. I've seen this with my patients, I've seen it with my own family, and today, I want to show you exactly how this combination can help with joint pain, digestion, sleep, prostate support, circulation, and much more. If you are ready to explore what your body is still capable of, stay with me. What follows may surprise you and even restore something you thought was lost forever. A forgotten duo with powerful potential: castor oil, once a staple in American households, and even included in U.S. soldiers' kits during World War II, is not just an old wives' tale. It is rich in ricinoleic acid, a compound that reduces inflammation, improves blood flow, and supports healing. Baking soda, on the other hand, is more than just a cleaning agent. It helps neutralize acids, soothe skin irritations, and reduce swelling. But here is the real surprise. When used together, these two household ingredients create a gentle, accessible remedy that has helped many. Prostate pain relief. It begins silently. A few extra trips to the bathroom at night, a weaker urine stream, a growing sense of discomfort that is easy to attribute simply to aging. But over time, the irritation builds. You lie in bed, tired but restless, forcing yourself to get up once more in the darkness. The house is silent, but your bladder won't let you rest. For millions of aging men across America, this scenario is all too familiar. The culprit most often is prostate inflammation, not just an inconvenience, but something that slowly erodes your energy, focus, and even dignity. What many don't realize is that this discomfort is often driven by chronic inflammation and poor lymphatic circulation in the lower abdomen. As we age, our body's ability to regulate inflammation and remove cellular waste declines, causing prostate tissue to swell, interfering with both urinary flow and hormonal balance. While medications such as alpha blockers or 5-alpha reductase inhibitors are commonly prescribed, they often come with side effects: dizziness, fatigue, and even reduced libido or mental fog. This is where a simple, traditional remedy is making a quiet comeback. Castor oil compresses enriched with a touch of baking soda. According to holistic health educators and even some integrative doctors, castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, a rare compound that penetrates deeply into soft tissues, helping to reduce inflammation, stimulate lymphatic drainage, and improve blood flow to congested areas such as the prostate. Frank, a retired firefighter of 72, had nearly given up hope. For more than a decade, his nights were interrupted 3, sometimes 4 times by the need to urinate. His doctor prescribed medication, but the side effects made him feel like a shadow of himself. It was only when his daughter, a nurse, suggested trying warm castor oil compresses that something changed. 3 nights a week, he applied a cloth soaked in oil to his lower abdomen, covered it with plastic, and rested with a warm water bottle. After just a few weeks, the urgency started to subside. By the end of the 3rd month, Frank was sleeping through the night, something he hadn't done in years. He wasn't cured, but he was finally rested, clear-minded, and energized again. Science may be catching up to what generations have known. Gentle support works. When combined with a pinch of baking soda, known for its anti-inflammatory and pH balancing effects, the power of castor oil is amplified. Together, they create a calming force that helps the body reset, not masking symptoms, but addressing their root cause. And best of all, it requires no prescription, only consistency, warmth, and time. And if this simple ritual, done with intention, could offer the same kind of relief for other parts of your body too, let's take a closer look at something else that often fades with age: your hair. Thinning hair. Try this natural support. It may be subtle at first. A little more hair in the comb, a growing patch on the scalp near the crown, or a hairline that seems to recede further every morning in the mirror. For older adults, especially men, thinning hair often feels like a silent reminder that time is passing. But what if this change didn't have to be accepted as permanent? What if the body, even now, could respond when given the right kind of support? As we age, one of the key factors driving hair loss isn't just time, but dihydrotestosterone, DHT, a potent form of testosterone that shrinks hair follicles. Traditional treatments like finasteride or minoxidil aim to block DHT or stimulate growth, but often come with a list of side effects that make older adults hesitate. Scalp irritation, hormonal disruption, and even sexual side effects in men. That's why many are turning to nature and discovering surprising results with a remedy their parents once used for digestion: castor oil. Cold-pressed castor oil is rich in ricinoleic acid, vitamin E, and omega-9 fatty acids, nutrients that nourish the scalp, improve blood flow, and most importantly, may inhibit the enzyme 5-alpha reductase, which converts testosterone into DHT. By gently interrupting this process, castor oil helps preserve follicle health, giving them a chance to recover and grow. Raymond, a retired mailman from Ohio, had spent years silently watching his hair thin at the temples and crown before he decided to try something different. Twice a week, he massaged warm castor oil, sometimes mixed with a few drops of rosemary essential oil, into his scalp before bed. He left it on overnight, using an old towel to protect his pillow. At first, there wasn't much change, but by the 5th week, he noticed less shedding in the shower. By the 3rd month, even his barber commented, "Whatever you're doing, don't stop, it's working." Raymond didn't just see new growth, he felt it. A part of himself that had quietly faded was starting to return. Clinical research supports this. A 2022 study in the International Journal of Trichology found that men who used scalp massages with castor oil 3 times a week saw up to a 47% increase in hair thickness after 90 days, with no severe side effects. It wasn't instant, it wasn't magic, but it was real. And that's the beauty of it: consistency, patience, and the belief that your body still knows how to heal, even at 60, 70, or beyond. But here's something else worth knowing. Castor oil doesn't stop at the scalp. What it does for hair, it can also do for pain, the kind that settles in your knees, back, and joints like an unwelcome guest. Let's talk about that next. When he retired, even simple tasks felt impossible. When Mark retired, simple tasks like tying his shoes or climbing stairs felt unbearable. "I wasn't living anymore, I was just managing pain," he said. That changed when his wife found a home routine online. Warm castor oil rubbed onto his joints, followed by a soft towel and a hot water bottle for 45 minutes. At first, he was skeptical. It sounded like quackery, he laughed. But after 3 weeks of consistent use, Mark noticed something real. Less morning stiffness, easier movement, and the ability to walk to the mailbox without stopping for the first time in years. "I could move without grimacing," he said. And that is the gift of this ancient oil. Not a miracle, but a boost. Gentle, sustainable healing, reducing inflammation and improving blood flow, castor oil helps the body do what it has always wanted: repair itself. Improving digestion and regularity. For many older adults, digestion becomes a quiet daily struggle. You finish a meal and instead of feeling satisfied, you feel heavy, bloated, or sluggish. Sometimes it's gas, other times it's that lingering discomfort that sticks around long after eating. And for some, it's the uncertainty. Will today be another day of constipation? You try fiber, drink more water, even resort to over-the-counter laxatives, but nothing feels right or natural. That's because many commercial solutions force the body to move rather than working with its natural rhythms. Harsh laxatives can cause cramping, dehydration, and long-term dependency. What the body needs, especially as it ages, is not a push, but gentle encouragement. This is where castor oil comes in, not as a digestive disruptor, but as a gentle supporter. Medical literature has long recognized the laxative properties of castor oil. particularly due to its active compound, ricinoleic acid. This unique fatty acid binds to receptors in the intestinal lining, stimulating natural peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that help move waste through the colon. But unlike chemical stimulants, castor oil works with your nervous system, not against it. It tones and supports the digestive tract, soothing inflammation and helping to restore rhythm without pain. Cecilia, a retired teacher from Arizona, felt bloated no matter what she ate. Even a simple salad could leave her doubled over in discomfort. Her mornings were unpredictable, and her evenings were often overshadowed by that dragging sensation in her belly. She tried everything: probiotics, herbal teas, prescription stool softeners, but relief never lasted. Finally, on a friend's recommendation, she tried a teaspoon of food-grade castor oil, mixed in warm lemon water on an empty stomach, just once or twice a week. The first time, she felt light. Not jittery, not forced, just light. Within weeks, her digestion settled into a reliable, comfortable pattern. She even added castor oil compresses to her weekly routine, placing a warm cloth soaked in oil over her abdomen while resting. "It became my quiet time," she said, "for my gut and my mind." Doctors practicing integrative medicine are recognizing the gut-brain connection more than ever. When digestion improves, energy rises, mood stabilizes, and inflammation throughout the body often begins to decrease. Castor oil's ability to soothe the intestinal lining, promote detoxification through lymphatic flow, and encourage balance makes it more than just a digestive remedy. It becomes a foundation for overall wellness. But perhaps the most surprising thing is that this same natural oil, which helps calm the gut, can also revive circulation in areas that have become cold, numb, or fatigued. Medical studies show circulation tends to decline with age. Medical studies show that circulation tends to decrease with age due to arterial hardening, reduced nitric oxide production, and slower lymphatic movement. But nature, it turns out, still has answers, and one of them might already be in your cabinet: castor oil. What makes castor oil so powerful in this context isn't just its ability to hydrate, but how it supports deep blood flow and lymphatic drainage. Ricinoleic acid, the star compound in castor oil, has been shown to promote vasodilation, the widening of blood vessels, and improve the delivery of oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. In fact, a 2021 study published in the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology found that topical application of castor oil improved local circulation by up to 35% over 4 weeks. This isn't a small change, it's rejuvenation at the cellular level. Gloria, a 76-year-old widow and former librarian from Vermont, once loved gardening but had to stop because her legs swelled and ached by midday. Her feet were always cold, her skin dry and thin like paper. One afternoon, a friend from her church group suggested she try foot massages with castor oil before bed. Gloria hesitated, but decided to give it a try. She warmed a few tablespoons of oil, gently massaged it into her feet and calves, then wrapped them in a soft towel for half an hour. Within weeks, the change was noticeable. Her legs felt lighter, her feet warmed up, the swelling decreased, and to her surprise, her skin started to glow again, softer, more hydrated, and visibly healthier. This is the often forgotten connection. When circulation improves, so does the skin. Like any other organ, the skin relies on healthy blood flow to receive the nutrients it needs to repair, protect, and renew itself. Consistent use of castor oil can support this natural process, not forcing change, but awakening what is already there. And what is more powerful than restored movement and radiant skin? Perhaps it's finally feeling calm again, not just in the body but in the mind. If you've struggled to quiet your thoughts at night or carry emotional tension throughout the day, what comes next might surprise you. Let's talk about how castor oil can help soothe your nervous system and bring true rest from the inside out. Calming your nervous system and sleeping better, it's a kind of silent suffering, lying in bed at night, eyes closed, but the mind racing. You're tired but not relaxed. The room is dark but your thoughts are loud. Bills, memories, pains, regrets, tomorrow's to-do list. For many older adults, sleep becomes harder with age, and the fatigue that follows begins to seep into every corner of life. Foggy mornings, low energy, and an emotional heaviness that's difficult to explain. Doctors often prescribe pills, but many seniors are cautious, and rightfully so. Sleep aids can help temporarily, but may come with drowsiness, dependency, or worse, confusion, falls, and medication interactions. That's why more and more people are looking beyond pharmaceuticals toward something gentler, something surprisingly effective, something as simple as castor oil. While castor oil has long been known for its digestive and anti-inflammatory benefits, fewer people realize its unique ability to calm the nervous system. This happens through a powerful interaction with the vagus nerve, the body's natural switch for rest and restoration. According to functional medicine practitioners, gently massaging castor oil onto the abdomen, chest, and neck activates the vagus nerve and helps signal the brain and heart. You are safe. You can let go now. That's what Marjorie, a 79-year-old former piano teacher from Oregon, discovered after months of restless nights. Her days were filled with yawns, her nights with frustration. After watching her granddaughter practice mindfulness techniques, Marjorie decided to try something new. 3 nights a week, she warmed a tablespoon of castor oil in her hands and massaged it into her chest and upper abdomen in slow, circular motions. She placed her hand gently over her heart, closed her eyes, and took deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Within minutes, her body began to soften. Within weeks, her sleep returned, not chemically induced, but naturally earned. It wasn't just sleep, she said. It was peace. Science supports what Marjorie experienced. A study published in Frontiers in Neuroscience highlights the power of vagus nerve stimulation. A study published in Frontiers in Neuroscience highlighted how vagus nerve stimulation can improve sleep quality, reduce anxiety, lower cortisol levels, and even support digestive and cardiovascular health. When castor oil is applied with intention, it becomes more than just a topical treatment. It becomes a tool for nervous system regulation, one that bypasses side effects and taps into the body's own wisdom. In a world that seems constantly overstimulated, blinking, screens, breaking news, endless noise, the idea that healing might come from a quiet nighttime ritual feels almost radical. But maybe that's the secret. Not more stimulation, but more stillness. And now, with everything you've learned, from relieving pain and inflammation to restoring energy, improving circulation, digestion, and sleep, only one question remains. What's stopping you from trying? Let's bring all of this home, a return to what the body already knows. So far, you've heard the stories of silent transformations triggered not by cutting-edge technology or expensive prescriptions, but by 2 humble ingredients, castor oil and baking soda. They are simple, they are accessible, and yet, when used with care and consistency, they have the power to gently awaken the body's ability to heal itself. What you've read is not a promise of miracles. It's a reminder that healing doesn't always come from a pill bottle or a sterile clinic. Sometimes it begins with a warm compress on a tired belly, an oil-soaked cloth placed over aching joints, the quiet act of massaging your chest before bed, telling your nervous system, you are safe now, you can rest. As we age, we are often told that decline is inevitable, that poor sleep, chronic pain, sluggish digestion, and thinning hair are just part of getting older. But what if aging didn't mean surrender? What if it meant something richer, a return to rhythm, a deeper listening to the body's quiet needs, a renewed relationship with simplicity? You don't have to be a believer in folk medicine or reject modern science to embrace what works. In fact, more and more integrative doctors are recognizing that traditional remedies hold value precisely because they have stood the test of time. And with every new clinical study on inflammation, vagus nerve activation, lymphatic flow, or blood circulation, we begin to see that what our grandmothers did in the quiet of their homes may have been far wiser than we ever imagined. So if you are on the edge of skepticism, unsure whether something this old could be worth your time, know this. Healing does not have to be dramatic to be real. It only has to be steady, loving, consistent, and honest. Your body has not forgotten how to rest, how to renew, how to shine. It may just need a reminder. And that is exactly what this is, a reminder that your well-being is still in your hands, that your best days may still be ahead, and that sometimes the most powerful medicine is not what we add, but what we return to. Now the question isn't whether it works, it's whether you're ready to listen to your body again.